Alright, so this is actually filmed after I have completely set up the enclosure and my gecko has already been in there for an entire day, and I just kind of wanted to talk about what you should probably know before you get into this. So on the box itself, it doesn't really tell you what size of enclosure that the dirt is like guaranteed for. It's not like this is enough clay for a 10-gallon aquarium. So I was using the dirt in a 20-gallon long, which is exactly what this behind me is. And so I bought the kits in this bag. And with both of those, it was like just barely enough to do the entire bottom in 2 caves. So if you're wanting to do more, I would probably suggest just getting 3 bags and then buying a spade and a bucket and then some balloons. It would be more optimal for your money. You'd be getting more dirt and then you would have more options for caves and stuff. Something else you need to think about is if you get your soil too wet, it takes much longer to dry, and then your gecko or lizard or whatever is living on this can't go back into there. So you have to have a second container set up to put your animal in with heat and all of that you need. So I just had an extra 10-gallon laying around that we kept our gecko in overnight so it can completely dry. And then this morning I took a blow dryer to it on like a warm setting just to kind of dry the surface completely before I put him in there. If you do the recommended 3 cups of water per package, it should only take 24 hours to dry, so it's not a super big deal to have like a permanent home set up for your other gecko, but that is something you need to think about. So when I set up anything for my animals, I like to do a lot of research, and when researching online I couldn't find any videos or like setups of the extractor clay kits. I found one video, I think, so hopefully this is a little helpful. You will need things like rocks and sticks and things to put in the environment, or it's just going to look like a cavernous clay mound. I happened to buy 2 pieces of driftwood. I had crystals laying around from some geodes I had broken, and then we bought like a $1 bag of rocks to make the pathway from the Dollar Tree. I think the entire setup cost about $80 with the clay and driftwood, because the driftwoods were actually, it was probably a little more than that, but yeah, I just been looking online and found that the clay was like the best substrate you could use for a leopard gecko because it promotes them to dig around and stuff, and that's like their natural environment. A lot of people think they live on sand and stuff like that, which is completely untrue. That's like really bad for their health and it can lead to impaction and stuff. So I highly suggest, if you have a leopard gecko, think about getting this clay. It's really awesome looking. For one, your cage or your terrarium just looks so natural and beautiful, but it's just really good for their health and they benefit a lot from it. So, I kind of just wanted to talk about the pros and the cons about buying the kit and then just buying the extractor clay by itself. You can purchase both products at PetSmart, the bag of clay by itself, or just like the box. Personally, I'm going to have to do this again for my other leopard gecko within the next month or so, and I'm most likely just going to buy the bag itself and not the kit. The only benefit of getting the kit, I feel like, is having the box to mix it in, and then also having the balloons, which I just could have purchased like a large bag of balloons for $1. The kit is like $5 more, and it's not worth it to me to just buy the kit again. So if you are going to be doing this for the first time and are wondering if it's worth the kit, I would probably just get a couple bags. We used the kit and then an extra bag for this cage, and it is a 20-gallon. And then one thing I would note is we didn't really realize this tube was going to be completely visible from the outside, and so we probably should have just done like a layer of dirt right here, but that was like one of the last things we got in, and we had already positioned our balloons and stuff, and they were trying to move, so it was just kind of like, well, it's here now, we'll just remove it later if it's a big deal. So I would probably just be cautious of that. That's like the only thing that I'm really disappointed about. And then also something to think about, he's been in here for a day now, and this was like a perfect circle in this cave, and he's just like dug all around this top area, which this substrate is supposed to promote them to dig, so I'm glad he's doing that. But if you're wanting your tank to look a very specific way, your gecko is probably going to destroy it a little bit. So just keep that in mind. It's for their benefit, not your benefit necessarily, so just understand that. But he seems to really, really love the substrate and has been like digging in this corner and stuff. You can see he's covered up some of my crystals. So I'm gonna go back in with some water probably and then just pat this down a little bit, because I don't want it to be super loose with him in there, because I would hate for him to like eat a little bit of that while he's eating a cricket. So, because we do feed him in his house, so he can get some hunting in. But I really, really am happy with this. It looks amazing with his sticks and stuff, and he's just been crawling all over and exploring all day. He's taking his first little break looking at me in his little cave. Very happy.